Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of May 3rd through the 9th. And during that time, for really the entire week, we have a waning gibbous moon. And that means we're coming off that full moon energy, and it's a good time of self-reflection and rebirth as the light of that moon starts to dim down. We're going to make positive changes and continue working on those things that we've been working on for this cycle. Get rid of our bad habits and our negative thinking and just continue to work. We then have the last quarter moon that comes in on the 9th, and that is kind of the same energy. It's like the things are starting to come to fruition, come together. We're wrapping things up and definitely just getting rid of negative emotions and all of that negativity out so that we can start to clear our mind and think about what we might start for the next cycle. So keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Capricorn. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is the energy is gaining momentum. Okay, let's see what that means for you guys this week. If you hear frogs if you hear frogs on this reading, there's some frogs outside of my window right now. I'm doing these readings in the evening, and our pool sits right out there, and we're still covered up, but there's like 5 or 6 frogs, and they are just so noisy. It is insane. Um, I'm used to hearing this every year, but for some reason, I guess just where my table that I do these readings at is right by this window. I'm like, I can't believe how loud they are. Anyway, if you hear them, that's what's happening, is we have frogs out there that are just merrily singing through the night. All right. My fun weekly reminder for you this week, Capricorn, is that you take some time to meditate. And if that's not something that you regularly practice, it is kind of a good calm week to maybe give that a try. So even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes a day, or if you set a couple of times aside every week, maybe 2 or 3 days where you take 15 or 20 minutes, half an hour even, or even longer if you can take it. That's a lot for me to meditate for that long, but just quiet your mind and your body. If you need to do a guided meditation with some headphones, if your house is noisy, do that. Just kind of drown out the sound if you can. That can be nice, but just give meditation a try. And that's my fun weekly reminder for you this week. All right, let's get into this reading. The energy is gaining momentum. May 3rd through 9th for Capricorn. Your current energy right now is the 10 of Cups. So the energy is gaining momentum, and it looks like it may be positive energy. That's one of our happiest cards in the deck. 10 of Cups is just being happy family, enjoying your surroundings. Like everything's in order, everything feels really good, and your cups are full. You just couldn't be happier, right? Your current situation right now is the Judgment card, which I've seen this come in for quite a few readings actually in this position this week for some reason. So your current situation is maybe you are judging something or feeling judged, or there's something going in with Judgment. We'll see what happens as your other cards come out, see if we can give us any hint to what that might be. At the root of your situation is the 6 of Pentacles, so something about giving and receiving here. So and it looks like, this is a card of Pentacles, but many times this giving and receiving can be an exchange of energy also. But just make sure that if you are giving, you are doing so with an open heart because you really, really want to. And also the same with receiving, that you're, just and be full of gratitude on both ends of whatever that might be. If there's some judgment coming in there, we'll see if that's where that might be. In your recent past, here is the Queen of Cups. So, you're also very emotionally balanced. I mean, that shows definitely with this 10 of Cups, that you're happy. The Queen of Cups is really, the understanding of her suit. So the understanding of emotions, and not only of just your own, but also the people around you. The queens are concerned about their constituents also. So the queen would know the motivational emotions, or who's being motivated by what emotions around her. So that is in your recent past there. What is on your mind this week is the 9 of Wands. So this is kind of looking back onto something and doing a little reflective relook. That could be kind of where we are. As we approach this new moon again, we're kind of looking back, evaluating our own, what we're doing, things that we're working on, things that might not be working out. Again, we're trying to get rid of those negative thoughts and stuff. So hopefully this is a positive look back at just being, kind of doing that evaluation of, what things I might want to start tweaking for the next cycle. So that's what's on your mind right now. Again, it says the energy is gaining momentum. We'll see what this might be for you. What is just ahead of you? Well, that's not really gaining momentum, but it's the Four of Swords, which is some rest and meditation. Again, that was my advice to you this week, is to maybe try that. So, maybe Capricorns, you do take my advice and try to do some meditation this week. Again, it can be very restorative, and if you have something that is on your mind or some sort of judgment, it's sometimes, you want to empty your mind, but it is a good time when you have that quiet time to use that to think about some things that you're working out. But that seems like that is ahead of you here with that Four of Wands. In your advice position is the Five of Cups. So there might be some sort of feeling of maybe grieving something that's going on here. Um Again, I'm not even seeing, some energy is gaining momentum. Is there something that you've maybe recently had to let go? Because it's in your advice position, this tells me that you need to just stop and feel whatever these feelings are. And it could be that you have had something go on that was kind of in your past that had to do with giving, receiving, and you're grieving some sort of loss when it comes to that. This could be um losing someone, and maybe not even just to death or whatever, but just like the severance of a relationship that you're grieving, that there was some sort of give and take exchange, or just some sort of change, right? This could be it's just so many different things, just somewhere where there's a loss that you've kind of maybe put off feeling, feeling the true results of it, because you're generally a happy person and maybe you don't dwell on those sorts of thoughts. So, but if that's the thing, sometimes you just have to kind of get over that, and it lessens as you're, but allow yourself to have those feelings as well. What's beyond your control this week is the High Priestess. So here comes the High Priestess in to maybe give you a dream or show you some sign in the universe that it's all probably going to be okay, right? So, this could be because of this. And again, I get the feeling that maybe you've put something off, that maybe you just kind of, sometimes we don't want to feel certain things and we do just kind of just shove it to the background. I don't want to feel that. And then sometimes, and maybe through rest and meditation, it's like, oh, there it is. I need to manage this and deal with it so that I can just be happier. And this could be some judgment. I mean, you may not be, you may arrive at, there was something, again, I feel like a give and take that is severed for some reason. I mean, of course, it could be due to death. I haven't seen the death card here, but I more am get the feeling that it's something that's either a work relationship that was severed or a friendship, because maybe you switched jobs or they did, um, and or a friendship that maybe has just drifted apart and you haven't had. But watch the universe for signs of healing and signs of, maybe just moving on to something better for you. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Is the Two of Swords. So you're trying to not make a decision here. Is either your secret desire is to not decide, or you're trying to avoid making a decision at all. So ask yourself that. Grieve whatever this loss is. Again, I feel like it's a give and take situation. Again, I just can't even context this for some reason. Something that you've kind of put off feeling, and something is bringing it up now for you. And so here you are, this is the card of indecision. And it's okay. Sometimes you just need to sit with information and really think some things through before you actually make a decision. So is that your secret desire to do that right now? Or are you trying to just even avoid thinking it through? Is it bringing up something for you from your past that you kind of want to avoid even thinking about? What is in your outcome is the Chariot. So I think you will make a move on something here, not maybe this week. I feel like there's something, I wish I could put my finger on it. You're looking back here at the past. You're happy. You're generally happy, but something that has happened to you is making you look back at the past. You're having some judgment about something, and it even could be yourself, or someone else around you, or you might be feeling some sort of judgment about something. But try this rest and meditation. I know that there's something that you do need to make a decision on, but it's kind of hard for you, and it's bringing up a kind of a grief situation that you don't want to, like, almost like dealing with the situation makes these feelings even stronger. But I think you need to go ahead and have these and feel them and learn how to get over them and manage them so that you can move ahead and start to gather information, because you need to make a change, but you're just not quite ready to do it yet. You're in kind of that information gathering stage, but watch the universe for signs. If this is someone that you lost and they're no longer with us, many times, you see these people and a little message from a bird or a message from something. There's just stuff in the universe that shows you, hey, I'm still around, and maybe you just need to recognize those things. What is hidden from you this week is Ace of Wands. So, no big new passion things coming at you this week. Ace of Wands is kind of a big yes. That's not even, I don't even think you're near a decision point, but you will get there. Maybe next week. You might be sitting and kind of dealing with feelings, and the reality of things gives this give and take of something coming. But whatever it is, it's almost like, it's a material thing here, but it's somehow bringing up a grief situation for you that you don't even want to look at. You don't want to think about. It's something that's maybe not the most pleasant thing. But come back next week and let's see if you finally get the courage to start making a decision on something. I feel like you are gathering information. You're at least there, but make sure you take some time to feel those feelings there. Let's get you a final card here, Capricorn, from the Soul Oracle deck. Get you a wrap up card. And it says, ask with sincerity. Okay, so, maybe that's just asking the universe for a sign, like, well, what should I do in this situation? I mean, it looks like you're kind of at this indecision point about something. And again, I do feel like it is tied in within that grief card, but it's something from your past that you're looking back at. So take the time to look at that. And again, sometimes you just need to feel feelings. If you stuff them down and you're like, look, I'm a generally happy person, which it appears you are, that's your present energy right now. You're happy with things. But it's almost like that, sometimes it is hard to feel feelings, and we kind of go, oh, okay, I'll put that away for later. And then later never comes. But that can kind of lurk under there and keep kind of coming back up for you as you're reminded of it. So if that is the case for you, just go ahead and try to feel those feelings. It will make things better the next time something like this comes up for you. All right, self-care for you this week, Capricorn. Self-care card that you get is the card called Action, which is funny because I'm just seeing a lack of action, even though that Chariot card is awaiting there. Baby steps are still steps, and they're better than standing still. So yeah, even if this is baby steps and feeling this, I feel like taking some sort of action on it is going to move you closer to a decision. And it's because this thing is kind of blocking you from making a decision. Again, I feel like there are feelings that you really don't want to feel, and maybe they're not. Maybe they are feelings of grief, and you've just avoided feeling them. But if you do and take baby steps towards that, you're going to get to where you wrap all this up. And again, when you're presented with it next time, it's not going to be as difficult. So, Capricorn, I hope that makes sense to someone out there. I feel like that message might have been pretty specific to someone. You'll know who you are. Again, tarot is a template. This energy can template over different things that are going on in your life, but take with it what you will. Take what resonates with you. So anyway, with that being said, thank you so much for being here. If you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below. Let me know if you have questions about anything here. Be happy to answer those for you. Or if I hit the nail on the head on something, I'd like to know that as well. Especially with this kind of reading, it was kind of murky, kind of hard to really extract what might be going on with probably what's a specific group of different Capricorns that are going through something like this. So also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe helps me so much, and I thank you and appreciate that of you. But also, most importantly, it'll help you find me next week, where you can come on back and let's see if this energy continues. Maybe you do make a decision and we start to make a move on something, or if there's just something completely new here for you. So thanks so much again, Capricorn. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.